Next up is Jennifer Halsall.
All right, well, I actually also did a partnership with the NCC, but whereas the invasive species one took a look forward, mine actually took a look backward to learn. And the whole story starts on Ridge Road, which is a small farming road out in the Greenbelt. The NCC maintains several farms in the Greenbelt, many of which are historic properties, and they're rented out to tenant farmers who can maintain sustainable agriculture. My task when I came to the NCC was relatively straightforward. It was to update the heritage report on a certain farmhouse, known at that time as the Powell House. And this is where the community engagement part comes in and where things start to get interesting, because the Powell House, as it turns out, wasn't actually owned by the Powells at all. It was actually owned by the Whytes. And if you see here, we have Gwen and Earl Whyte. Earl is a third-generation Ridge Road farmer, and that's where things start to get interesting, and that's where community engagement plays in. We were lucky enough to have Earl and Gwen come forward and let the NCC know, hang on a second, that's not the Powell House. Powell was a tenant there for 3 years, but we were there for nearly 100. A little bit of an oversight. And that's where the project got interesting. Because these two farmers are still alive today, albeit not on their farm because of NCC expropriation, we got to interview them and create a new collaborative history that didn't only showcase the Powell House, now renamed the Whyte House, but it also showcased 3 generations of Ridge Road farmers and, in fact, the entire Ridge Road community. In Ridge Road, we discovered an old schoolhouse that dated to 1883. We discovered an old station from the New York Central Railway. We discovered a gospel church. We discovered 4 other farmhouses, all within the Whyte family, and several other key community points of interest that have all since been demolished. So what we did is we looked at all this research, we incorporated feedback from the Whytes, and we reconstructed a Lego village of Ridge Road. Wasn't actually made of Lego, I have to say. It was theoretical, but I hope you enjoyed the metaphor. Nonetheless, we created this entire community out of the testimony of 2 farmers. Imagine what we could do with all of the farming families that used to live in the Greenbelt. The NCC expropriated 17,000 hectares of farmland. And many of these farmers are still around today. And this is the project that kind of kicked that momentum off. So today, even though my practicum has finished, I was an undergraduate student there, my practicum has finished, but other practicum students, as Heather has told me, Heather is an NCC heritage individual in the back there, they're carrying forward this work. And so we're hoping that we can reconstruct a collaborative, community-based history of the Greenbelt and really dig into what we've missed. Ridge Road started with 1 heritage house, and it became a community. And this is only the beginning.